for people living with dementia and the challenges that you are finding, because this is not challenging for the person themselves. As you all know, we have discussed this previously. People think that somebody living with dementia is suffering. They're actually not suffering. They're living fine. You are suffering. So don't say, oh, they suffer with dementia. They don't. They live with it, okay? You may be suffering. So we are going to discuss about this. And I will use the language that I'm happy to be using when it comes to dementia, and that's a positive language, because I want to create a positive environment, not just for the person, but for you as well, because it's important for you to be and feel supported and to feel that you're doing something nice and to feel good about yourselves and the person you're supporting. So I will try to change a bit that mindset, okay? So have you all heard of this word? Yeah. So what is that? Who can tell me?
And they keep on want something to eat or something, like going up and down.
Okay.
Craving for something, you know.
Yeah.
I think Sundowning is a time in the day when things change for them and they're not as settled as they was earlier in the day, maybe because they're tired, and maybe confusion kicks in a little bit more.
The mood change in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. That's the key word. In the afternoon. What would you like to say?
I was going to say the same, but their moods and behaviour changes. They behave in a really bizarre kind of way.
Yeah.
They think it's day when it's night. They think they start to undo crazy things.
Yeah.
So
this is typical for more than one person living with dementia. Yeah. So we can see it very often. So can I start by asking your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. So who is living with dementia? Your mum.
Jean.
Jean. How old is she?
Mum's 90.
90.
Wow.
Well done.
She looks incredible.
Well done.
Yeah.
And your name?
Valerie.
Valerie. Val. And who is living? Your husband. How old is he? 75. Very young. And very common in people living with dementia. And it is I know that it's small letters. I'm really sorry about that, but I will read it because it's small, because there are so many things to discuss and I didn't want to bring like 100 slides. So this is a pattern that happens during the afternoon, and a person can show confusion, agitation, anxiety, restlessness, and that goes late afternoon or evening, okay? So we don't know why this happens, but we have linked it with when somebody is tired, with any hormonal changes. So whenever, especially for women, hormones are our entire life, right? Maybe disruptions, changes in the people. Somebody like you had people coming in the house earlier in the day, and then in the evening, symptoms will be higher, okay? So how can you make things a bit better? So the way to make things a bit better is to have a routine. You need a routine. A person with dementia is living with a routine. If you don't have an established routine, a certain hour of the day and a certain way that you do things, this will never work for you, okay? And dementia can't do it. And then use calendars and clocks to have a better routine. You know all those like digital things that some people are using? After a while, your loved ones, they will not be able to see it. You know that. So the clock is there, but no matter how big the letters, they won't be able to see it. It's because the brain does not give that guidance. Check the clock. They won't be. It might be in front of them, they won't be able to see it. And even if they see it, they won't be able to understand and connect the information with whatever they have to be doing. Okay? Maximize daylight and minimize shadows. So, what does this mean? It doesn't mean to keep the curtains open, quite the contrary. Okay? So it means that during the day, you have the curtains open, or you go out with them to the garden or for a small walk or anything, or have them by the window to ensure they get enough light. I know that in this country, this year, we have the maximum days of sun, right? And it's last year we couldn't even find the sun, no matter how hard we looked. And me as a Greek, I suffer with that. So here, what you do is, in the morning, you try to get them out of bed. Get them out of bed so that they can be in touch with the sun and the daylight. Then you keep the curtains open, and exactly what I said. Let them sit near the window, and then when the daylight fades, what do you need to do? So in the afternoon, so this is the trick now. So in the afternoon, when the light becomes a bit strange, have you noticed that in the afternoon your eyes get like, even when you're driving, the light hits you differently because it comes like diagonally on Earth, right? Even when you're driving or when you're walking, in the afternoon the light hits you differently. So the same happens with a person with dementia, but that's worse because it can cause them a lot of confusion. So what you need to be doing is, before the light starts coming down, you need to like close the curtains. Close them. Turn on the light inside the house so that they can understand and relax. They can feel a bit relaxed so that the body starts winding down instead of like picking back up. Because if they see that light hitting diagonally, they won't be able to understand what mirrors or windows or anything that's glary. You need to remove it or remove them from that area because they see shadows. They see a lot of shadows. And they won't tell you that because they won't be able to verbalize it, and then they might think, she might think I'm crazy. And they won't share it with you. So you need to make sure, because they are very, very confusing. So dim the lights, but you need to close the curtains. I know it sounds silly and strange, but actually it's working. Get them into their pajamas. Gradually, reduce the noise. I know that 6 p.m. is news, and everybody wants to turn up the volume high so that they can hear the news. Actually, you need to turn the volume down and turn off the TV, because the TV gives you a lot of bad information. And it will give you explosions, because if it was a happy event, it wouldn't be on the news, right? If it was a happy event, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
If it's something extremely bad, 100 people died, a policeman was killed, something else happened, terrorist attack, that will be on the news. So this is what they are hearing before they are actually, and then they will sundown. Definitely, you can't avoid it. I'm not saying that following this will remove sundowning, I'm saying that it will reduce the symptoms, the severity of the symptoms.
May I? So, some people desperately love watching the news, like, so for the care professional that's in the home, could they maybe mute it and have subtitles on if they wanted to watch it themselves?
Watch it at lunchtime. Watch the lunch.
But the person's still in the house with you, they'll still hear it.
So the person then it's your choice. If you are caring for them and you want to watch the news,
Yeah.
it's your choice. Do you want to deal with sundowning or do you want to watch the news? Choose.
Fair enough.
I'm not telling anybody to do like you need to do this or that. You live in your own house. I know what I'm saying to the care professionals.
Yeah.
When I'm speaking to the care professionals, I'm like, change the channel, reduce the noise, put some music on.
Yeah.
Light music, just a nice calm down atmosphere.
Okay.
Question or two. One, what is the percentage of people that actually experience sundowning out of curiosity? And with my mum, so you say 6 o'clock. My mum has always been a night owl, so she would never be 6 o'clock for me. That would be like 10 o'clock. She can outdo me. Up until this happened, my mum could stay awake till 4 in the morning. So and that's why I'm off sleeping. Be like 10 o'clock at night, because then she'd go to bed at 1.
Yes, but you have to reduce the light in the house earlier. That will move her sleep schedule as well.
Okay, I've got you. Got what you're saying.
You have to start reducing the light.
Okay.
Because here in the UK, I mean, in the summer, the light is up until 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
The person is confused. They don't even know what time it is. They don't even know what day it is or what year. So you can imagine how confusing this may be, yeah? But of course you can move up the hour, but you have to reduce the light. Maybe not, it's 6 o'clock is just an example.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's like 7, I don't know, it's your lifestyle. I mean, my husband, he has never slept before 1 o'clock in his life. I'm not expecting him to like start sleeping like earlier. So, as you can see, like whatever I was saying, and avoid overstimulating, like talking about events, like, okay, tomorrow we are going to do this, we're going to do that. Giving them information. Oh, that person died. He went to the hospital. Oh, your grandson called me and he wants to study to that university. And you start giving them all that information. I know. Oh, well, you're welcome. So you start giving them all that information that you feel it's necessary, but I'll tell you what, it's necessary for you to get it out of your chest. It's not necessary for them to hear it. So if you need to do that, you need to find somebody else to share it with, right? Call me. Call your sister, brother, friend, the Pope, anybody else, but you can't share it with them. So you need to like do it differently. It's a nice sound. Rest and sleep hygiene. So, you need to start a night routine. Changing the clothes in the evening and wearing the pajamas is actually then going to settle down and go to bed. So after the evening meal, which has to be earlier obviously than you would have it, then you say, okay, let's get now washed and get dressed. A shower is even helpful if you manage to get them underwater, because we all know that people with Alzheimer's, they don't like water. They avoid it as if it's like a cat. So isn't that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right?
Like you're torturing them to get them to wash it.
They will not want the shower, but definitely you can do a quick flannel wash.
Yeah.
And that will rest them with a like nice warm flannel and a soap that smells really nice, and have that aromatic, like nice therapeutic aroma. Then make sure everything is quiet, cool, and the night lights, if needed, they can be up. But according to the sleep specialist, even the night light can disturb the sleep. But you will say, if I don't have the night light, she will or he will wake up, try to walk, fall, then I'm running to the doctors and having them with a broken hip. So this is like a choice according to the mobility, okay? You need to be monitoring the diet and hydration. Oh, and for that, avoid long and late naps. So if they want to sleep in the afternoon, don't allow them, take them out in the garden, do something with them. That's the hardest part for a family carer. Because in that time, you're already tired, you don't want to deal with anything, you don't even want to deal with yourself, and you're like, I'm going to go out with you now? No way, I'm sitting here and I'm watching the news with you. So you're doing that, but then they will be restless all night. So avoid it. You need to try and start changing that biological clock that keeps them awake or trying to get them to sleep. Monitor diet and hydration. So the evening meal usually, to be honest with you, in Greece, the main meal, the heavy meal, is lunch.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, the heavy meal is dinner.
Yeah.
So having a dinner as a heavy meal, it actually affects your night's sleep and how you sundown. The energy goes from your brain to the stomach trying to digest. So you don't have energy, but then when you digest after an hour, you start being all energized, and then you say, okay, now what do you want to do now? Let's go, let's do this. Why did you do that? Then they start asking 100 questions again and again, right? And then you say, oh my God, God, where do you find all this energy? I want to just wind down. We just had our dinner. So, sugar and alcohol and caffeine. Get decaf products for your loved ones. Do not give tea with caffeine and coffee with caffeine. And you might say, but should I lie? Yes. Should I lie? Yeah, you should lie to them. If they ask you, is this my tea, my normal tea? Yes, it is, of course. I don't know, maybe the water's changed, I don't know. You don't know. You just white lie. Honestly, this is not going to affect you, it's going to affect them massively. Alcohol with no alcohol. Glass of wine, non-alcoholic. Alcohol is proven to disturb sleep. I'm guilty of that. I like my gin and tonic. However, if I'm diagnosed, I will try to avoid it. Okay? So ensure hydration is maintained throughout the day. You need to, I know, we will talk about this, so I won't stay in this because the amount of information we have on this is ridiculous.
Sorry, it's just going to say, people, obviously people with dementia, we want them to live their life still. So, if alcohol has been a part of their life, there are really good alternatives now with no alcohol.
Yes.
You probably wouldn't even know
Yes, absolutely.
that you're not having it. So, if they want a G&T, they can have a
Absolutely.
G&T.
Oh,
They're
yes,
not going to
of
know
course.
it's got no alcohol.
I'm never saying, you will have the drink that you like is it coffee, is it tea, so it will be without caffeine and without alcohol, or low alcohol, so that it doesn't affect you, because literally you have to act in their best interest. So their best interest is this. You are the advocates. If I have a care professional in there, I know what to tell the care professional, but now you have to be that advocate. You have to do this. So, encourage physical activity. A walk. Asking them to do something. Set up the table or whatever. It helps them and it gives them a better sundowning experience and a better sleep. Short walks, all that. If they're in a chair, you do some exercises for them. It will help you as well. Stretch, do that because you are tired. You are sitting with them. Get up, do something. Reassurance and emotional support. This is very, very important. They get extremely agitated. They ask you to leave the house. They say that you've stolen the wallet from them. You hide something from them. They are mad with you because you did something, you blocked my phone and I can't call anybody. You took I had it here. I know I had it here. It was always here. You took it. So you say, I'm really sorry, is it gone? Let's look for it together. If you say, no, I didn't take it, they will be more agitated. So what you have to say is you apologize. As I said to the previous sessions, you apologize about whatever you did, whatever you didn't, about yourself, your existence, the neighbor. You apologize and fix, and then move on. It's hard to apologize. Okay, saying I'm sorry. How many times a day do we say I'm sorry in the office? Many times.
If we bump into someone on the street, we're English, we say,
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm person's fault.
Yeah.
So we've got to try and think it's just a word.
It's just a word. Yeah. Even if it's your fault, you walk on the street and somebody else's fault, they bump on you and you say, oh, I'm sorry. They should apologize. You apologize. Okay. But this is a British thing. It's not a British
You're the one that wouldn't say I'm
We
sorry.
Did you see me? No, really. I apologize. So offer some reassurance. Avoid arguing. Avoid arguing on that time. They want to tell you something. They want an explanation. You can say, "Oh, good for you to remind me that. I will find out and we will talk about it tomorrow." I will find out and we will talk about it tomorrow. Oh, I don't remember that information now. I will give it to you tomorrow. Just reassure them. And then have some nice music if they like. Something to hold, like a little teddy bear, a soft thing, something that's nice and soft and
Tactile.
yes. Just give them that after the evening meal. Just give them that just to hold, because that will take away a lot of the pressure. Psychologists, they give you these little balls that you press, and you give the same to them so that they can do something, so that it's stress relieving, yeah? And then use distraction techniques like folding towels, as I said, looking through photo albums, like simple tasks for them so that they can just rest. If they start being agitated, find something for them to do. That's all I'm saying. If they are being agitated and you say, oh, yes, what did you lose? Oh, did I miss it? I'm so sorry, Mom, Claire. Let's go, let's find it. Oh, look what I found. Then they will forget about it. That's the good part of the lecture, right? Then you say, oh, look what I found. This is the photo album of us being kids. Look at that. Oh, who's that? Is that you? Is that you? So that's how you start to distract them. Okay? And how you distract them to wash in the evening is by talking more than them. So you started talking and you're saying, oh, okay, let's go, Claire. So I have this, I have your clothes here, but you can wear them later. Let's see, does this come off? You don't ask them, will you have a wash? You just start doing it while talking about irrelevant things. I went to the cinema yesterday and this was the play. I watched this and it was so interesting. And you have the flannel and you start washing them and they're just confused. What is she saying? They don't notice what you're doing. Okay? So you keep talking for irrelevant things, and that's how we do personal care. Okay? Review medical factors. Maybe a medication needs to be changed, especially if somebody is on donepezil, memantine, whatever. It might need to be reviewed. If there are any sleeping tablets, if they had constipation. Pain is very, very relevant to sundowning. And these glasses, hearing aids. Is it whistling? Does it bother them? Take it out. Take it out in the afternoon. Just remove it. They don't hear you anyway. And even if they hear you, they might not be. If you have a visitors, if you are going lunchtime or any other day, or if like your loved one is not very much affected on that day. Any questions on this? You heard everything, right? Who is experiencing that? Yeah?
But what you've told me is so valuable.
Yeah? You're experiencing that. You as well. Yeah. So I can tell you, so you asked about a percentage. I would be lying if I told you I have an exact percentage, but what I can tell you is that my personal belief is that definitely 70% of people are experiencing Sundowning. So it's a very big percentage because only a few occasions that I've seen people without it. And usually you can't deal with it, even trained care professionals, they cannot deal with it. You have to like swap your mindset to deal with sundowning, and you have to actually lie. Honestly, you have to actually lie that nothing happened. They're asking you, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? No. And you had like a car accident. Touch wood, right? But I'm telling you, if you say that, then besides the accident that you're dealing with a relative who is like agitated because they don't remember why they're agitated. So it's up to you. It's your decision. I'm just telling you. Okay? This was the main reason that we started this course today. However, we decided to add sundowning as a bonus. But sundowning needs far more explanation than this, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what can happen, what are the consequences, how you're dealing with it. On nutrition and hydration, we have a lot to say. However, I know that some people might say, what do you have to say, right? Are you wondering that? What can you do, right? 3 things. I can think of 5. Somebody might think of 3. Somebody might. We have a lot. Hopefully helpful. But next time that we will deal with Sundowning, we will deal with it like in a more essential way, and we can just link it with any other behavioral challenges. So, how many of you are dealing with a family member or loved one who is like? How many of you face challenges when it comes to hydration or nutrition? You are? So, what's the challenge?
Mine is really having hydration. He eats as much as there is to eat, but he refuses to drink.
Does he eat fruit?
He likes bananas more.
Okay.
Not the juiciest of fruit, yeah.
The juiciest of fruits. Does he like lollipops?
No.
No. What's your issue?
Mine is more meals, really. I'm finding more and more she wants to only eat sweet things. So it's difficult.
What type of dementia is she living with?
Vascular.
Vascular.
But what I
From
do,
what? From what?
how does she get the vascular dementia?
What's the condition that led you to that? What is her main condition?
Well, no, we don't know because my mum had blood clots in her heart and lungs.
That's the main condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, never told, see.
It's okay.
I don't know. But
That's
yeah.
why you're here.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Okay. So she doesn't want to eat and she wants to eat sweets.
Well, sweet things. So I do things like she likes like real old school. She likes a baked apple, right? So that I give her through, but it has to have a bit of sugar and butter. But at least I give her. I try to give her.
Definitely.
Quite
Salt in it.
Yeah, no, she don't have the fruit. But what I do, I try and get her the biggest apple ever. So that can sometimes replace her meal. And she's got an obsession with Marks and Spencer's sweet and sour chicken with a jacket potato. That is a constant. And it breaks my heart, but it makes me happy because my mum will eat that every day like she's never eaten it. She other things.
Okay. Who else has any challenges with nutrition and hydration?
Eating.
Yeah?
My husband's terrible for eating.
Like he wants to eat more or less?
Not enough.
Not enough. Okay. I wish my mum had that. Claire met my mum. She was here. I drove her to the airport yesterday. I had her here for 2 months. She's not diagnosed yet, but I did the diagnosis. She's probably with vascular dementia following a heart attack 3 years ago. So now she is just eating like there's no end. Still because the hormones have changed. But anyway,
He wants to eat sweet stuff and he's meant to be diabetic.
That's a real issue. We find with a lot of our carers, they say that they just want sweet stuff.
Yeah,
They might have, like you say, an underlying condition of diabetes or something. And how do you control that when all they want is
To eat
That.
sweets.
As we say this in
Having
front of
sweets.
all this sweet
Sweets.
stuff.
I can't control myself. What type of dementia?
Vascular.
Vascular.
Trampoline, what you in the front?
Frontotemporal.
Front.
Okay. Okay. How is his speech?
Bit slow.
Slow.
Yeah.
He still
He
finds
keeps on
words.
thinking,
Yeah.
and then sometimes the words doesn't come out. Sometimes it speaks. Sometimes he has to think what I have to say.
Does he say sexual words? Sexual that
No.
he didn't say before?
No.
He might later on. Don't be surprised. He might. It's how it works. This and what's
He's got mixed.
mixed vascular and Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start then, because I'm glad you mentioned all that, and maybe we will find some of that in here. So. You think?
If a resident does not eat over 50% of their meal, it's important to start providing some sort of assistance. You can provide, first off, with verbal cueing. Some residents need a reminder of the food that's placed in front of them, or a reminder to take another bite throughout the meal.
Often, persons with dementia need to be reminded to pick up their utensil and take a bite. even when preferred foods and fluids are placed in front of them. Placement of items within easy reach, combined with a verbal reminder or prompt, such as, "Would you like a drink?" all that is needed for someone to initiate drinking or eating on their own.
Queuing is very helpful. There are residents that are still able to feed themselves, but they just need reminders about how to do that. So it doesn't have to be blatant as, "Mr. Smith, please take another bite," but you can ask him how the food is, how did the broccoli taste, how did the chicken taste, and that helps reorient residents to the meal that's in front of them. And they'll want to find out how does that chicken taste. Let's take a bite.
Physical guidance is a way of assisting someone while still encouraging independence. Helping someone hold the food and bring a bite to their mouth is an example of this technique.
Some residents may need physical assistance because they're unable to bring the food to their mouth or be able to determine where the food is located on their plate. So examples of physical assistance would be hand-over-hand assistance. That's a great way to start to keep the resident involved in the activity by placing your hand over theirs and doing the same motions as if they were eating themselves. That also helps orient the resident that food's coming to their mouth. Some residents are unable to be able to do hand-over-hand assistance, and by providing full assistance for them, they may be receptive to eating as well.
Those who may not otherwise appear responsive may still eat when prompted by a gentle stroke of the cheek or touching their lips with food.
We had one resident, I noticed that she wasn't eating all her food. You know, she needs a little cueing. So I went over there, I chopped up her biscuit, and I put a little piece of her biscuit on her food. She was able to finish her meal without any problems. So just taking that extra step and cueing them and making sure that they're doing all right, they're feeling good.
It is common for older adults to become easily distracted or even fall asleep during mealtime. For this reason, it is important for a trained caregiver to be seated at the table to keep everyone focused on eating.
Using 5 minutes of assistance is a good approach to see whether the resident is going to be receptive to that assistance. And if they are, continue providing assistance throughout the meal as needed.
Mealtime assistance can be made more efficient by seating residents together who require staff attention. We have found that one trained caregiver can effectively provide good quality assistance for up to 3 residents who are seated together. On average, this requires 45 minutes of caregiver time per meal. Social interaction during mealtime encourages most people to eat and drink more, including older adults with dementia. Older adults with dementia should be encouraged to share at least 2 of their daily meals with other people, rather than dining alone in their rooms, to encourage food and fluid intake.
Even with all these techniques, some residents may still not want to eat during meals. It may be helpful to create a snack plan. In between meals or throughout the day, it might be helpful to provide residents with supplements or to create high-caloric snacks that they may enjoy. It's good to focus on what the resident really enjoys during that time. If a resident likes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, make that 2 or 3 times a day for the resident. Or provide different choices of what their favorite meals or snacks are.
If a resident receives staff attention during meals but still doesn't eat and drink an adequate amount, offer a variety of snack items 2 to 3 times per day between meals.
During snack time, what we found to be helpful is to provide a variety of drinks, such as juices and milk. And for residents to eat, we also provide snacks that they enjoy. We usually have a range of chips, pretzels, fruit, and cakes.
It's better for these items to be calorie dense rather than focusing on healthy choices.
Some residents may need assistance, just as they did during meal times, and some residents may be able to eat the snacks independently.
Just as with meals, it's important for caregivers to encourage residents to consume snacks between meals. This typically requires an average of 10 to 15 minutes per resident per snack offer.
Snack time in a community may take up to 45 minutes to complete.
Whatever is happening in the video, basic things that they touched on the video, like that you sometimes have to sit down with them. You have to actually all the time sit down with them to eat and try to eat at the same time. Then physical assistance. It doesn't always mean I take the spoon and I'm feeding you in the mouth. It might mean that I'm holding your hand and pushing your hand up gently so that I'm reminding you whatever is there, or remind you. We will discuss about all this. So some considerations like posture, strength, steadiness, coordination, and oral health. Do they have the dentures in? Like literally, sometimes we have to. The care professional was saying, she didn't want to eat. Did she wear the dentures? No. Oh, the dentures in, she can't eat. Like they don't know there are dentures, they didn't check, they didn't remember. Everything can happen, the same can happen with you. Coordination, they don't like literally. This is the fork, hold the spoon, this is the plate, and they don't know that this fork needs to go first in the plate and then in the mouth, and then they have to chew it and then they have to swallow it. So you literally have to say this every single time. Now pick up the fork, put some food in the fork. Now bring it to your mouth, and then you say, this is the mouth. You show them where the mouth is. And I know you feel that, but they know where their mouth is. They don't. Always, okay? And maybe because they can't do all that, they're frustrated and they stop eating and they only eat the things that are easy to eat. And the easy food to eat, besides a banana, are all bad for your health. Because if it's a fruit, you will have to peel it, do something with it. Or maybe it's hard, or maybe, you know, if it's an orange, you have to peel it. Maybe you have to, like, put it separately, or whatever. If it's a vegetable, you have to actually cut it, clean it, wash it. But if it's like a cookie, or you just grab it and you eat it.
Yeah.
So the easy-to-eat food and the cheapest food, actually, are the unhealthy ones. The healthy ones are expensive and hard to cook. Cognitive ability, we discussed about that. They will not be able to concentrate on the behaviors. They might be pushing the food away, spitting, whatever they want to be doing, swallowing. We will talk about all that. Pocketing, putting the food in the pocket, finding the food. I went to assess a lady for malnutrition the other day, 35 kilos, and the daughter was finding the food hidden in the closet. And she would take the food out, and then she would say, Mom, what's this? And she said, I didn't put it there, you put it there. And then I said to her, what do you say to that? She said, what should I say? I said, I didn't put it there. I said, no, you should say, I'm sorry. And apologize. Sounds familiar? Okay. So, I know that the letters are small, but I'll try and explain everything step by step. So, you need to have some comfortable positioning. So, if the person is like lying down or is being like that, find the best position for them, so that they can actually eat and enjoy and swallow and be able, like the airways are unblocked, like they are sitting comfortably, that everything is okay. And stable, right? Good lighting. Can they see it? Can they see the food? Here, for example, in here, I know that you believe the lighting is good, but they would need the lamp here. Okay? Take this from a blind person. I'm wearing lenses. Honestly. Otherwise, I tell you, the first time that the lights are on, I always notice when it's dark, because it annoys me. I can't. Imagine somebody caring for me, right? Big trouble. They're already doing the lottery in the office. So dentures, as we said, are they wearing them? Are they clean? Are they causing in pain because of the dentures? Do they need to be checked? Are the gums swollen? Is there something? Is the blood coming out? You need to be checking that. Appealing presentation. You know what? You need to have a proper, lovely plate, small portions of food on the plate separately. Like, not all together. Like, I've seen some photos of an English breakfast with the beans, the bacon, it's all like together. My husband is a chef and he is like, no, that's not okay. So you need to have everything like a mash here, a little bit of meat or no meat depending what they're eating, the vegetables here, the plate that they can see, a plate that they can see, and the cutlery adapted. You know those adapted cutlery that they can hold, because some of them might have arthritis, they might have other things, and with a color in the end that they can see it. If it's silver or something else and it's shining, they might not always be able to see it. So it can have a plastic end and the rest of it can be metal so that it's appropriate for eating, but they need to be able to see it. And below all that, you need to have something like, how do you call these things?
Placemat.
Yeah, a tray.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, right. Sorry, English my second language. So, colorful tableware, bright colored plates like blue, red, yellow, something intense that they can actually see the food in it. Because if it's like this and you put the food on here, you might miss it. They might miss it. The preferred foods. What do they like to eat? What did they like eating before? What did they like eating before? What do they like now? How can we adapt this change? Because I know that you find it weird, but somebody who didn't like sweets at all might swap to liking sweets. It depends which part of the brain is affected, because the parts of the brain affect the hormones. It affects our taste buds, maybe something's in the mouth, maybe there was an infection in the tongue, something, and the taste generally changes. The smells that they receive are different, so that affects it. Manageable portions. Do not smaller portions. In some occasions, for somebody who is refusing to eat completely, it's better to give them snacks throughout the day than asking them to sit and have a full meal. Variety in food and drinks. Change the things that you are giving them. Maybe a lollipop, maybe an ice cream, maybe a different drink. If they used to like apple juice and now they refuse to eat it, change it. Bring orange juice, bring something else. They might have changed. Try something different. Gentle prompting. They are forgetting they have the meal in front of them. You have to remind them. Okay, so how do you like your chicken? This is how you remind them. You don't say, finish up your meal. How's the chicken? Are the beans okay? Is the broccoli nice? Is it well cooked? They probably will tell you they don't like it at all. It doesn't matter. As long as you... don't they? They do that. So, as if I'm singing it, honestly. I've done it so many times, it's as if I have it in front of me. And then but this brings them back to the focus. And you say, oh, is it horrible? Okay, well, I'll try better next time, And then maybe you try it and you say, oh, I think I like it, it's quite nice. And then, okay, just have a bit more, just keep on going. It's a struggle. Allow for a relaxation. So, if they're agitated, let's say you annoyed them for any reason, and you apologize. If they're agitated, right, you breathe in, breathe out, leave the room. Leave them be, let them be. Don't say, oh, it's time for 6 o'clock, time for your dinner. Don't go and start eating with them. Let them be, just leave them. Go away, go back in half an hour, start over without even mentioning whatever happened. Say, oh, hi, Mom, dinner is ready. I put your favorite, whatever you asked for me. She didn't ask for it, but you have to lie and say, she asked for it. You don't believe me, yeah? I can see your...
I like these ideas.
I can see you're nodding and you think, oh, why is she saying that? I have to keep lying. So there is an entire full research about white line dementia and how this affects how you feel and how they feel. So you go in there and you say, oh, you asked me to cook this, I've made you to cook anything. But you said that she did. And then you are presenting, it's ready, and then you're bringing it in. So you get away from the agitation. Let them be, go back as if nothing happened, like we didn't fight, ever. If you have to, you apologize. Don't forget, I'm sorry. And then, appropriate texture, it means that might be puree, small cuts, soft foods, whatever they like and how do you think they will have it better. As I said, maybe they prefer snacking over the meals throughout the day. And the glass or the cup they use, is it easy for them to hold? You know those cups with the little handles? Don't use big cups, don't fill them up all the way. Like, do it halfway, and if they want, you can add some more. Be colorful, maybe have a straw. If they have a chocolate issue, straws are not good, then you have to try something different, okay? And as I said,
just to mention something about some clients find that they don't like those cups because it makes them feel like a child. So they get very angry if you try to give them something.
Well, if they don't like it, whatever they like, but don't fill it all the way up.
No.
Okay?
Yeah.
I had a client where I felt it like I left so much from the top for her tea, and she said, "Why is it not full?" And I said, "You had 2 zips." Poker face, you had it. Because she couldn't lift it, but she forgot that she couldn't lift it. But I know because she was burning herself, and I had a risk assessment on the burning hand, and I said, you had 2 zips. She said, did I? I said, yeah, is it nice? I know, awful, right? You feel it's awful.
No, I
don't.
She
does?
My husband always asks for half a cup.
Yeah.
I say, do you want a cup of tea? He says, I'll have half a cup.
Yeah, okay. Even better. Half a cup, you bring it there. Maybe he's aware that he, maybe he doesn't want more, maybe he...
drink it. If you give him half a cup,
Like you say, maybe he's aware that it's not so steady at holding it, so it's his way of...
But just to give you an idea, coffee and tea, like the British tea with the milk and this type of the coffee, they dehydrate you actually, right? So you need to pass in water somehow. Although they do have water with that, it's okay, it's hydration again, they need something, but you need to find a way, like to pass in some juice, something, I don't know, something.
I leave juice there all day.
Yeah, but you need to also prompt, like, how's the juice? How is the juice? That's prompting. Have some juice. You don't tell him what to do. He tells you what to do. My mom, if I tell her, I don't want, it's not happening like this. I'll tell you how it happens. My mom is like, she's very funny, honestly. She's very funny. So, drinks regularly to maintain hydration, as I said. Adapt to the changing preferences. They might change. They will change. They will not like the same things that they used to be. They change. That's okay, but you have to try different things. For example, if I have a dementia and somebody brings me spicy food and I like it, it's because of my dementia, not because I like it. I don't. I have zero tolerance to spice, zero. I'm trying though, I'm trying to adapt because almost everyone in the office likes spices and I'm trying hard, but I keep becoming the dragon that throws out the flames. So the eating space is very important. This is not okay for somebody to eat. It needs to be like this. They just need to have the food on the table, nothing else. Maybe a vase or something, I don't know. But nothing there to distract them, like little photos, whatever you like to have in there, no. So you take them away and you declutter the space, generally all the space in the house. You need to like remove some furniture. Address unmet needs. I know.
She's got the
And address unmet needs. Are they comfortable? Do they have any concerns? What were they thinking about all day? What's their fixation that day? Did I go to the gym? Did I go to the doctor? What did the doctor tell me? Do I have an appointment? No, I do have an appointment. Did you take me to my appointment? No, did you take me again? So before they start eating, address that question, that confusion, yeah? And then encourage independence, like allow them to feel like as independent as possible. Like it takes more time, I know, but it's best to do it that way. Finger food, small little bites that they can take with their finger because they find it hard to use the cutlery. Any signs of difficulty, monitor them. Are they choking? Do you need to have a salt assessment? Do you know the salting? What's the salting? Do you know? Speech and language therapist team that deals with swallowing issues. Yeah? Okay. Make mealtime social, as we said, sit with them. Temperature, not too hot, not too cold. Maybe you need to warm it up in the meantime. Bring it back because it takes too much time. Sips between bites. Like they're having something and then you say, how's that juice? Is that okay? Try it. Everything is for them. You didn't buy it for yourself, you bought it for them. You don't buy anything for yourself. What did you say?
All for them.
Oh, everything is for them. What's this? I thought this was for you. No, it's not for me. I bought it because you like it. Everything is for them. Don't be selfish. As we said, high-calorie foods. Monitor signs of hydration, like protein shakes, you've heard of them. Ensure some of them have compliant, things like that. You have to go?
Oh no, I'm just waiting for this video.
Monitor any signs of hydration. If somebody has a dry mouth, they will not eat. If the mouth is dry, they can't eat. There's no saliva to do the digestion, and the brain gives guidance that you don't have saliva, you can't eat. How are you going to digest it? That's the medical part of it. So if they're dehydrated, they cannot eat. Of course, if the urine is dark and everything, then you can check for UTIs as well, but this is how it is. And then try different things. Flavored water, herbal teas, whatever you can find to change the routine. And the routine is the same. You serve the meals in the same way, in the same time of the day, in the same spot of the table.
That's one question. So yogurt, even though it's thick, it's seen as a hydration?
Yeah.
Wow.
How thick is the yogurt you're buying?
We did one thing good. That's the Greek yogurt. And you can have it. It's probiotic as well. Love it as well. I had one before I tasted it. So, and be patient and positive. And you'll say, okay, if I do it once, I can be patient and positive. But if this happens every day, my nerves are above my head and I want to do things that... This is the part of it, and the important part is, now we are going to discuss about a case study. Claire is going to explain to you that. It's a case study about, it's a real person. It's one of our existing clients. And Claire is going to explain to you, because we had massive challenges with her meals and everything. Please, Mrs. Claire.
Thank you. Yeah, as Katarina said, it's one of our existing clients. It was a husband and wife, and they have 24-hour care from one of our care professionals, and she was finding it very, very difficult to eat at meal times. The husband was getting increasingly concerned about it, so we tried a few different tactics just to see if it would work. So his wife lives with Alzheimer's related dementia, so meal times, as I said, became stressful. She didn't want to always sit at the table and eat with him at meal times. So we started to introduce the finger foods, the foods that she would previously have eaten that hasn't maybe eaten for a few years. She would sit at the table for a little while, and then she would like to go for a walk, and then she'd come back to the table again and just have another sort of spoonful. And similar to what Pashlina was saying with regards to the plate, everything was separated, and it was just like potato, veg, and meat, quite a small size, but enough for her to have a substantial amount throughout the day.
And she's not a big sized
Yeah.
person, right?
Yeah. We also introduced some nutritional drinks as well, so like your Ensure, and she seemed to quite like the taste of them, so she's having at least one of them a day to build on her nutrition as well. We had to make sure that the care professional was being calm, because again, when someone is getting very agitated at mealtime, it is very difficult to try and stay calm, but when she stayed calm, she actually got a lot more out of her, and she was able to eat a lot more. We also had to extend the time for the lunchtime so that she could eat what she needed and go for the walks in between and have any snacks as well. The next slide. So what we did, as I said, we created a calm and distracted-free environment. So reducing the noise, turning off the television. The difficulty with this situation as well was because the husband was getting very agitated as well. He really wanted her to eat the meals at the right time. He wanted her to eat everything that was on the plate. He didn't want her to get up from the table. So the care professional did have a bit of a tricky lunchtime to try and make this work. But as I said, perseverance did help. Using contrasting plates and placemats, this client in particular actually only eats off of a blue plate. So when she has her blue plate, then she knows that she's going to be eating her meals. As I said, offering familiar foods, but again, some that were introduced that she maybe used to have, like hummus, for instance, because she could have a spoonful of it, rather than just having the meals itself with 3 different things. Sorry. Establishing a flexible routine. So, although the lunchtime was a 2-hour slot, we've now extended it to 4 hours so that we're not rushing the experience, and that way that they get to enjoy it. The husband is a lot happier because she is eating a lot more. And yes, with the nutritional drinks, she's definitely having a lot more than she previously had. And as I said, maintaining a relaxed approach. So calm environment, relaxed with, you don't have to eat it all right now. Eat at your own pace and enjoy it, and then you get the benefit from it as well. Yeah.
Excellent.
That was her case.
Nice, Claire. Situation because the husband was not allowing us to help her eat on a different time because they lived together forever and they were eating always together. Yeah. Even when they're sitting down, they're holding hands.
Oh, it's so
But
cute.
he was so dynamic.
Nothing to do.
So it's very interesting because we had to like directly face the dynamics and the balances because he wouldn't understand and he would not accept that it was dementia that was doing that. He thought that she wants to die. I had to go to the, so we sent in first the client's manager who did the first assessment. She comes back, she tells me, Pashalina, we have an issue there, and this is what's happening. And I said, okay. Then I speak with the daughter, and I said, okay, can we meet there? So I'm having a meeting with the daughter himself, and of course, the lady who was like trying to understand, so why are you here? What's happening? Why are you here? So she's always like that. And then I explained to the husband that you have to let us try, and this is now, we are on survival mode. So we have to overlap you, and just try to support her to survive. And then his daughter obviously interfered and said, look, we have to try this technique, otherwise what is going to happen? So they changed. It takes time. It's challenging, but this is a case study on real time, happening now, literally. This is how we are doing things. And it helped her start eating. So we managed to do that. But we had a care professional with like little bites, walking with her, because she likes to walk around, walking with her and giving her hours. And then the snack is the other care professional who is in the shop. Obviously, we have a live-in there. It's a 24-hour. When you have a 24-hour person in there, it's easier to manage those things. If it's hourly, you just need an extended like call, and then somebody literally trying a bit harder. You can have like 1 hour, an hour and a half. The care professional is quite trained; they just manage to do it. But this is what happens. Like these are whatever you are experiencing is real, and it's people for real that are doing this. So, hello. So, what is? Do you have any questions on this?
When the mealtime changes and things like that, when you go on holiday, are there many hotels or holiday places that can sort of assist with the difference of what they would like the plate or things like that to assist them?
Some of them might do.
Yeah, some of them might.
Some of them might do, but I don't think everybody will do it.
Yeah.
No.
It may be better to, if there is a
Bring your own.
specific plate,
What-
and
yeah.
not take it with
Bring
you,
it.
just
Bring
as
your plate.
part of your,
And you know, yeah, because maybe they want to eat at a different time, like the husband
Yeah.
and the wife. So
So then, in that case, you shouldn't be going to a hotel. You should be going to an Airbnb.
Yeah, where it's
and
just
and
you and your
cooking
kid.
and
Yeah,
doing
that's
something
true.
different. I
That's
think
true.
that, I mean, if it was me, like, my mom would love a hotel and she wouldn't mind, and she would go and like the buffet.
Yeah.
I pronounce it in French and they laugh. So she would love all that and she would enjoy it, but somebody else might not. Might
Too
find
overwhelming.
it too confusing,
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
overwhelming, too busy. They wouldn't know where to go. You wouldn't have a good time at all.
Or you can eat in your room if you get a larger, like a suite, depending
Yes.
on your
Yeah.
budget. You get and you
Where are
clear
you
the
going?
place where they need
Yeah.
to eat, and then you can do it at your leisure.
Any-
You can't expect an
Any
entire
other
hotel.
questions about
conform.
nutrition, hydration, or sundowning that you've, or any challenges that you are facing that you would like to discuss at this moment that you have me here?
Mum has spit in her mouth occasionally. So why isn't she needs to spit in her mouth?
Sorry, what is, sorry?
Spit.
Saliva.
Yes.
Saliva. Yeah, yeah.
She's got saliva in her mouth.
She creates it because she thinks about it. If she wants to spit, you just give her something that she can just spit.
Yeah, but why she's got it in her mouth and
So you're saying she's not swallowing as often, or?
Sorry, is she keeping the saliva and
yeah, in her
once?
mouth.
Yes,
But
does
sometimes she spits it out, but sometimes she doesn't spit it out, and it's just there.
You need to remind her to swallow. You know there is a nap. We have a client, right? You know. Oh, I can't say the name. Sorry. So, our client, she has an app that reminds
So she's
on her
not
phone.
swallowing the saliva.
She's
Yeah.
not
That's why
swallowing.
she's got saliva.
Yeah.
in her
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to remind her to swallow the saliva.
Yeah.
We have
Why
you will be amazed the things that we are doing.
Yeah.
You will be amazed. So now the care professionals in the care plan, literally, I'm writing, remind her to swallow the saliva because she doesn't remember. Because
It depends on the part of the brain
The brain is telling
Yeah.
her.
you're doing it automatically, but for her is a sorry.
Making things worse.
She's not swallowing.
No, it doesn't matter. It just she needs to swallow it because it remains here. What is she going to do with it? She doesn't know what to do with it if it's there. She's having it and she's thinking, what do I do with it? She doesn't know.
Because her brain's
So then
not
it has
telling
to
her to swallow.
Saying
Yeah.
that
You're doing it automatically, but she can't. She can't. This actually needs some action. It's not like the way your bowel moves and you don't understand about, you don't know it. It's like saliva in the mouth. We need action. We need to action it. We need to actually do something with your mouth.
The next option is to spit it out anyway.
Yes, yes. If she spits out, you need to set something on the floor, if she spits on the floor, so that like ink sheets or something like one-use things. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So that then you can throw them away and you keep the place hygienic. Any other questions?
Last month I went on a holiday, and every morning he says, when we are going home, he was homesick.
Yeah.
And
you know, when they say, when are we going home, he's not homesick. Do you
My
know
husband
what?
asks that when he's at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you know why they say that? Because they feel insecure and they are looking for security. They feel they are unsafe where they are, or they are frustrated about something. So they will be asking either to go home or the mum.
Yeah.
My husband does it all the time. He's going to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to Jamaica. when you come back, I won't be here. I'm going to Jamaica.
Yeah, that's nice. At least he has a good dream.
My mum used to ask to go to bed.
Yes. And she was in bed. Yeah, she was in bed and she was asking to go to bed.
So how do you make them feel secure?
So the way to make them feel secure is actually go there, just give them a little pat on the back or hold their hand and say, would you like a cup of tea? Put them a little warm blanket if they're cold. Do something sweet. You know? Don't say you are at home. You say, okay, yes, you will go home. Do you want a cup of tea? Let me make you a cup of tea.
and why they don't want to go with full of people, like parties or somewhere where the gatherings are.
They find it too much.
They feel difficult to go, And if they go also, they don't, especially in dementia group, when I bring him, he doesn't want to involve with anyone.
It can be very overwhelming.
Himself, I keep on talking. So, I don't know what to do.
Claire, you were saying?
I just think it could be overwhelming for them, like you said as well, because there's too many people, there's too many things for them to focus on.
Yeah.
And then they just sort of don't say anything or do anything because they don't know which one to actually answer to or to focus. Yeah. Especially when families come round and there's like young children, there's so much energy. It's too distracting for them.
I would remove them from a noisy environment if it was my choice. I would never bring them in a noisy environment unless they really enjoyed it. If they don't enjoy it, you can't bring them in a noisy environment.
Yeah, part of my husband's Sundowning is that you empty the drawers and you lay his shoes out. And what I was doing, which was straightening up the drawers.
What is he doing with the doors?
He opens his
chest of drawers. The chest of drawers.
Puts all his clothes on the bed. He can't remember to put them back in the drawers.
Yes.
So I just put them back in the drawers.
Yeah.
But what I do now, I just put anything anywhere. I don't organize the drawers.
Yeah.
Once he realizes I'm not organized with the drawers, he starts with his shoes.
Yeah.
So empty. So he gets all his shoes out, and I will put them back where it's supposed to be. And the other day I thought to myself, you know what? Let the shoes stay. So let the shoes stay. So every morning I have to look at this string of shoes above the bed. And he seems to be quite happy, and I'm thinking, please put the shoes away.
I'll tell you something. So
My
you
husband
keep.
does that sometimes in the night.
He does that?
In the night, he'll gather his toothbrush, his toothpaste, he'll have his slippers, he'll put everything where he is.
Yeah. Okay. So you let them do that.
I do.
As for the shoes and the drawers, I would allow them to do that, but I would leave less things in there, like 3 pair of shoes, 4 pair of shoes, and like less clothes, and put the rest away in a bag or something.
Yeah.
Make your life easy.
Yeah.
You need to adapt. They will not. You cannot. They will not adapt. So you need to adjust. You have to change.